How's it going, everybody? My name is Nard, and welcome back to the Steam Summer Sale series. Today, I'll be going over some of the best open world games on sale right now. If you enjoy the video, subscribe as I make daily videos over the Steam Summer Sale. Without any further ado, let's see some deals. So first up here today, we have Monster Hunter World. Now, there actually is a newer Monster Hunter game out, Monster Hunter Rise. However, this is the last installment, I believe, of the Monster Hunter series before that one, Monster Hunter World. It's a co-op, open world game, pretty much, where you design your character, very customizable, and there's just huge monsters that you have to go out and fight. This is a beautiful looking game. The boss fights are really fun, and there's a lot to them. There's a lot going on in this game, a lot of items, a lot of repairing, leveling up, stuff like that. There's so much in this game. It's on sale right now, 50% off, down to just $15, which I think is a great price for this game. There's a ton of content with this kind of stuff, so if it looks interesting, give it a try. Alright, so next up here we have a game called Valheim. This is a fairly recent game, kind of similar to Minecraft. I hate comparing stuff to Minecraft, but you spawn in, you have to survive by cutting down trees, getting materials, building a house. Then there's just all this other stuff that progresses into it. As you can see, you can build crazy stuff like this. This is really a great game that just focuses on you can do whatever you imagine, pretty much. There's a lot of different bosses to fight, different places to explore. This is a fairly recent game, so the graphics look really good. It's still being updated because it was only released last year. So yeah, it looks really fun. I'd give it a try. It's also, you can play with up to 9 of your friends in 10-player lobbies, so you can get all the boys together, come together, and play some Valheim. So this is on sale, 30% off right now, down to just $14 USD. Coming up next here, we have Raft. This is a fairly simple game where you actually start off on just like a tiny little raft, kind of like that, with just this hook thing, and you spend a lot of time just kind of hooking things in, getting materials to build off your basic raft, kind of something like this. And then eventually, as you progress through the game, you go into land, fight monsters, find big cities like this. There's a ton of different materials to do, stuff to build, things to explore. This one is pretty fun. I've played this for a while. I actually wasn't a huge fan of it, but I didn't really get into like the post game, like with stuff like a big grill and like a big tree on your boat and stuff like that. So if you can get past the tedious start to this game, the later game looks like a lot of fun. You can do crazy stuff like this. So yeah, very positively reviewed. A lot of people like it. It's on sale 15% off right now, down to just $17 USD. Next up here, we have No Man's Sky. I did include this in one of my other videos, however, this is kind of the embodiment of an open world game, I feel like, so I just had to include it. Pretty much, this is a game about exploration and just finding new stuff, flying to different planets, exploring, finding different things, different items to craft, stuff like that. On launch, this game was not very well received. However, now it's had a lot of updates and people really enjoy it. So if it looks like your cup of tea, I say give it a try. This one is a lot of fun. It's down 50%, down to just $30 USD. Next up here, we have Sea of Thieves. Now, I've actually never played this one, but a lot of my friends have, and they really like it. This is kind of like an open world experience on the sea. So you take the role as a pirate, just exploring different things, conquering ships, doing battles, stuff like that. It's a game that's kind of focused on multiplayer, so you can play it by yourself, but having other people to play with makes it a lot more fun. So yeah, if you like kind of being a pirate and role-playing as a pirate, maybe give this one a shot. It's 50% off right now, down to just $20 USD. Next up here, we have another game that I've covered before, but still almost feel like I have to include, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This is an open world RPG game where you just make your way through the story, through different towns, upgrading your character in different ways, finding different items, different shops, characters, stuff like that. This is a very amazing game. A lot of people really love this game. Yeah, you've probably played it at this point before, but if you haven't, it's on a pretty good sale right now. 67% off, down to just $13.20 USD, so about $13. Next up here, we have Saints Row the Third. This is a little bit of an older game, however, as you can see, very positive reviews. A lot of people like this game. It's an open world, kind of, well, you know, comedy game, so it's like got some funny aspects to it, not really like scary or anything, but there's some weird, wacky stuff, not super realistic. Kind of similar to GTA, I would say. It's very similar to. except a little bit more unrealistic than GTA. It's very cheap right now, and it is co-op, so you can play through it with a friend, and you both can get it for, as you can see, 50% off right now, so it's just $5. So a pretty good deal for a game with so much content like this. Alrighty, next up here we have Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, as you can probably tell, this is actually a remastered version of the initial game. So the game that came out, I don't even know when, like in 2003 or something, on like GameCube and stuff like that, has been remastered. It's the same game, all the levels are the same, everything is very similar, except this one has better graphics. I think they have some voice changes, some different voice actors, and they also have a two-player, I think it's like a wave-based mode, where you're trying to fight off waves of enemies and stuff like that. So they've actually added a little bit of content onto the game. Yeah, if you want to play it again, you want it in your Steam library, I recommend it. I played through it. I thought it was fun and worth the money. So 67% off, down to just $10 USD. Next up here we have Starbound. Now this is a game where you kind of are in control of like a ship, and there's a lot of different stuff to do, like stuff to repair, stuff to find, different enemies to beat, stuff like that. It's kind of like in 2D side-scroller format, I guess you could say, but the graphics are really good. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of stuff that goes into detail, a lot of exploration, stuff like that. Yeah, if you like kind of flying and exploring and stuff like that in pixel games, definitely give this one a shot, because this one does it all very well. This is on sale right now for 60% off, down to just $6 USD. Next up, a game I mentioned in the past, but we'll continue to mention it as it's so good, Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. In this game, you take the role of Wei Shen, who plays the role of a undercover cop who's also doing criminal stuff to fit in with a gang and make his way up the ranks. So you have like cop missions, then you have criminal missions. There's really good storyline in this game. The driving is really good. They include all previous DLC in this game, so you get like another 5 hours of content after you beat the main game. Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It's such a good open world game. It's like GTA, but in my opinion a little bit better. To each their own, but this is on 85% sale right now, down to just $3 USD. Definitely give it a try. I really recommend this one. And finally here we have Mad Max. So if you've watched the Mad Max movie a couple years ago that came out, this is kind of based on that. It's an open world game where you play as Mad Max, who is a survivor and a hero who's like trying to take down enemies in like this desert wasteland here. There's a lot of driving, as you can see by the screenshots here. You get a car you customize and battle with sometimes. So it's kind of focused on that, kind of focused on like fighting and making your way through this wasteland, defeating different enemies and stuff like that. This one is pretty fun, especially for the price. I can recommend it. I can say you'll get your money's worth. It's 75% off, down to just $5 USD. However, one thing to note is that there is no online functionality, so it is just a single player game now. If I missed any great open world games, make sure to leave a comment down below for myself and others to see. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow.